Um, Let me introduce myself if you don't know me. I'm Shaki Padar, and I'm a member of the Triratna Buddhist order. And we're a Western Buddhist tradition, started in 1968, so we're very new, really, in Buddhist terms. And we teach the whole of Buddhism. We don't teach. Most Buddhist groups teach a particular type of Buddhism, so Zen or um, Theravada or something like that. So we take in all that we think is useful in the Buddhist tradition, all that we think is effective in helping us to change our lives. So it's particularly accessible to Westerners. It's just angled slightly different, more practical in many ways. And today we're going to do a meditation called the mindfulness of breathing. Which is about following the breath. Some of you may have done it last week. Some of you have definitely done it many times before. And basically, it's very straightforward. When we close our eyes, you will find, if you never meditated before, that the mind is very, very busy. And when we close our eyes, the mind just keeps on thinking and thinking and thinking, or usually anyway. And so by following the breath, we're giving the mind something to do, something to concentrate on. The mind likes to be busy. And in order to get it to relax, to get the mind to stop thinking, we have to concentrate on something, on an object. And the object we're concentrating on this morning is the breath. So this helps the mind to, first of all, have something to do, and having something to do, then to relax with that. So it's a very effective way of calming the mind. But it's really important to understand that we're not trying to stop the mind thinking. The mind, if we get into a conflict with the mind, trying to stop it thinking, that's just another bit of thinking, and it will just get worse. So what we're trying to do is to just let the mind be, following the breath and just letting the mind be. So when we are distracted by thoughts, it's very important not to get upset about it, or to think that we shouldn't be doing that, or that we're terrible at this meditating lark. It doesn't matter. When we get distracted by a thought, we just get distracted by a thought, that's all. And as soon as we notice we've been distracted, we just come back to the breath. And it's as simple as that. So we don't make a drama out of it. We don't criticize ourselves for doing it. We just notice that it's happened and come back to the breath. That's it. Easy, eh? Easy. Not really, but anyway. So it's in 4 stages of this practice. The first stage, we notice the out breath. The first stage is about noticing the out breath, and to help us do that, we can count at the end of each out breath. So at the end of each out breath, we can count 1, and then 2 at the next out breath, 3 at the next out breath, and so on up till 10. And when we get to 10, start again at 1. Now, it's not likely that you will get to 10, I must say. You might do, but it's unlikely. And if you do get to 10, just start at 1. But if you get distracted before you get to 10, it doesn't matter. Just notice you've been distracted and come back to 1. The second stage is very similar, only we count at the beginning of the in-breath, exactly the same way. In the third stage, we drop the counting altogether, and we just notice the breath in the body, particularly in the torso, in the chest, abdomen and belly. And then in the fourth stage, we bring our concentration up the body to this sort of area around the nostrils or the upper lip, and just notice the very subtle sensations that are happening there as the breath comes in and out of the body. So that's it really, and I'll lead us through it. I'll give you plenty of time to meditate as well, but I will give you an introduction to each stage and remind you what we're doing. And the main thing is to be comfy and relax. And since I've been talking, Sharon has joined us, and my good friend Mark, Anne as well. So welcome to you. So far there's 20 of us I can see, so it's lovely to have you all here this morning. So I'll ring the bell between each stage, and then I'll ring 3 bells at the end. But we'll start off by just relaxing a little bit. Just taking stock of how we are this Saturday morning. So make sure you're comfortable. You can do this meditation in any way you want, sitting on a chair, lying on the bed, lying on the floor, kneeling on a mat or a cushion, sitting cross-legged. So just taking stock of how we are this morning. Making sure you're comfortable, that you're feeling you're sitting on a chair or a cushion, you're sitting up straight, alert. If you're lying down, your head's nicely supported, and maybe your feet flat on the floor and your legs bent is more comfortable for the back. So how are we this morning? How are we feeling generally? Might be feeling good, might be feeling not so good. And however we are, that's okay. There's no need to worry about that. It can't be any different when you think about it. We are as we are, and that's absolutely fine. We can't change the reality. So however we are, having a sense of love and kindness towards ourselves. Tender human beings, just doing the best in the world, particularly in this difficult time. And if we have any unpleasant feelings in our body, I'm just talking about this in the last meditation. If there's any unpleasant or painful feelings in the body, just turning towards them with a sense of kindness. Really caring for any pain or discomfort we might be feeling, rather than turning away from it, rather than fighting it. Noticing how it feels to be sitting or lying today, the pull of gravity. And we feel the pull of gravity, and just allowing our bodies to be held by that. Allowing the earth to take the weight of our body. Just in a way giving up the weight of our body to the earth. bringing awareness to the chest area, the breath, as it comes into the body, expanding the chest, filling the lungs, pushing the rib cage out. Then as we breathe out, the body relaxing, the shoulders dropping. So each time we breathe out, just allowing any tension to drop away through the body. Just releasing any tightness in the shoulders, the neck. Just noticing if we're sitting with any tension. And if we are, just relaxing. And then just relaxing a little bit more. This is the mindfulness of breathing. And in the first of these 4 stages, we're going to just follow the out breath. So we can do this by placing a number right at the end of each out breath, beginning at 1 and going on up till 10. And then when we get to 10, beginning again. And if we get interrupted by a thought, that's okay. Just coming back to the counting, beginning again at 1. Just placing the number right at the end of each out breath. Remember, it doesn't matter if you get distracted by thoughts. It's just going to happen. It's a natural thing. So just noticing that that's happened, coming back to the breath and to the counting. It doesn't matter if you don't get to 10. It doesn't matter if you can't get past 1. That's fine. So just coming back each time you're distracted with a sense of acceptance and kindness. Letting go of the counting for a moment and just checking your posture, making sure you're comfortable, adjusting if you're not. And then when you're ready, we're going to count in the same way just before each in-breath. And do remember, this isn't a competition. We're not trying to get to 10. All we're doing is we're just noticing the breath, and we're noticing that we get distracted, and that's okay. So just counting just before each in-breath. Not getting concerned about being distracted. That's just what happens, and it isn't a problem. placing the number just before the beginning of the in-breath. Just breathing normally, not making any special effort. We're going to drop the counting altogether now and just bring our awareness to the breathing in the body, particularly in the upper body, noticing the chest at the front rising and falling as we breathe in and breathe out. The lungs expanding and contracting, and the rib cage responding. And just noticing that this happens at the front of the body, at the back of the body, and at the sides. So just really getting lost, being absorbed by this sensation of the body moving to the breath. It's a beautiful rhythm, an ebb and flow. To me, it brings to mind a sandy, white sandy beach with the waves gently lapping backwards and forwards on the sand. And you might be able to feel the breath in other parts of the upper body. So just being curious. You might feel it in the abdomen and the belly. Even in the arms. Doesn't matter if you can't, but just being open to that possibility. And when you draw each breath, where does it begin? Does it begin in the throat, in the chest, in the lungs, or further down the body? In the final stage, we're going to bring our attention up to the area where the breath enters the body, the nostrils or the upper lip, and just noticing how subtle this is, just really homing in, focusing on this small area, just really being with the sensations of the breath passing over the nostrils, passing over the upper lip. And just having a sense of curiosity, exploring this breath as it comes into the body and leaves the body. What's the quality of the breath? Is it silky smooth? Or is it a bit rough? Or something else? Doesn't matter what it is, but just explore the quality of the breath. And what about temperature? Is the breath a different temperature when it leaves the body to what it was when it entered? Letting go of all effort now, just dropping all effort and just sitting relaxed, aware, open, just noticing your experience right now, right this moment. Not getting caught up in anything. Not pushing anything away. Just sitting with experience. And we're going to end the meditation in a short while. And when the bell goes, just taking your time, coming round gently, moving the body, opening the eyes, taking your time. Well, I hope that was relaxing for you. If it wasn't, if there was lots of thoughts going on, that's okay. That's all right. It sometimes takes a while to just get the knack of just allowing that to happen in a way. Even experienced meditators still get interrupted by thoughts. It's what the mind does, and it's just it's a practice of patience in a way to allow the mind to be as it is. And if we can do that, it does settle. But if we start to fight it, it won't do that. If we start to get into conflict with it. So really great to have you all here this morning. Thank you for coming. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like to make a small donation to our funds, that would be really great. There's a link on the comments section on the outline of the morning of the meditation, and it's entirely up to you, but we would really appreciate any help you can give us because we don't have any outside funding at all for our group. Okay, nice to see you. We'll be doing another one at 10 o'clock, which is a meditation on gratitude to ourselves and to all the people that help us in our lives. Okay, thank you very much. See you again, hopefully, or hear you again, or something anyway. Nice to spend this time with you.